Tasteless, I think we just figured it out. Nest T going 2-0 here. You know what this means? Ever since he's going to Blizzcon, he looked at the math and he said, okay, 25K for winning Blizzcon, 50K for winning the GSL, so I can make $75,000 in one day, you say? All right.
I guess I could take some time and do that. Normally I just build houses out of $100 bills, but I guess
and then I set them on fire.
Yeah, I know. ST is so rich. Such a baller nerd.
MMA against Nada. This is going to be a sick match, Tasteless.
Yeah, this is going to be really good. I think they're very even.
Antigua Shipyard. You know what this is? Just like every other map for TBT, a mech map.
It's the Antigua Shipyard. It might be one of these, it might be a situation where Nesty shows up on his yacht at the shipyard and laughs at both of them. Says, I'm so good at Zerg.
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to play a game, and he's like, sorry, I couldn't hear you because I was so busy talking about how I'm so good at Zerg.
Well, the game is beginning. Nada versus MMA. Only one will go on to the round of 16. Who will it be?
I don't know. I think MMA. We'll see, though. As the game is now loaded, so let's do this. Nada against MMA. Darren Versteren here in the GSL Codex. Special thanks to all of our sponsors. Now on to the game. In the bottom right, we have
Players MMA.
And there he is now. Very important match here. Because if you lose, I mean, that's the end of it for you this season. You can try and Codex next time. In the upper right, we have the Renaissance nerd, Darren. Nada. I can't actually imitate that voice very well.
Sorry. Well, we have already Tasteless. Slight deviations in builds.
Yep.
Both players going gas first, but MMA's is a bit quicker. There's Nada's. There's MMA's. Everything looking pretty similar overall.
Oh, there's an automaton. It's already made its way into the base. Oh, and it's got to move because that barracks needs to be planted.
That barracks is so rude. Automaton is actually really cute.
I understand, though, because it's the Automaton 2000, so that would mean that it was made 10 years ago, technically.
Well, it's 2011 right now, so that'd probably be 11 years ago. But
excuse me, you know what I mean.
You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just model version 2000.
Could be.
Different calendar in the Starcraft universe anyways, because this is actually nowhere near Earth. I know the UED found them, but still, I would think they'd be on a different calendar. Don't know.
Oh, I guess you know what? You'd have to be on a different calendar because you're in outer space. You know, a year on one planet would be different.
That's true. The interstellar calendar would have to be used.
I mean, I'd assume that they'd still have the same aging system if you're out in space in StarCraft, but...
By the way, I want to throw this by you, this thing I was talking about with JP the other day.
Yeah, what?
I'm an internet guy. Maybe I'm selfish, but I want the world to have one time. I want there to be one time in the world. I don't want to try to figure out switch time zones to watch tournaments. Forget that. Just give me one time. I'll set all my clocks to it, and I will be able to see everything I want to see on the internet. Because then I won't be all confused. Sometimes I look at a tournament like, this is at what time, and what time zone is that? How many away is that? And then my brain melts, I just don't watch it.
There's a great time converter site.
Well, what about my idea, though? I don't want to go to a time converter site. I want there to be one global time.
I don't like that idea.
Well, I guess I'm just a better human than you.
No,
because
man.
I know it's the best idea ever.
No, man. I don't like that idea because, see, like, you associate certain times with certain mornings. So if you're, like, reading something like, oh, it happened at... The event happened at, 1900 or whatever.
Yeah.
1900, like, for me in Korea means morning, but 1900, like, for me, like, for somebody in, let's say, the United States was a different time. It's hard to get context when you're actually talking. You'd have to ultimately convert it. If you're going to talk about any historical event, you have to convert it back out.
You know what? I wish you'd shut up with your good points.
I am so out of control smart right now.
I wish you wouldn't always try to ruin everything, Tasteless. Well, may as well talk about this game. We are casting a StarCraft game, I think.
This is going to be one of those James Bond 007 double kills. They're on License to Kill right now.
Yeah.
You played License to Kill, right? Of
course, man.
You ever go to a friend's house and he's like, no, man, I play like the normal one? And I'm like, you're not a man. You're not a man.
Well, I played both. I mean, I played all sorts of things. I spent way too much time.
But License to Kill pistols on
yeah,
the Genesis
so
Square.
fun.
You mean anybody else is like, that didn't do it was not a man. Okay. I'd say that, and they're like, but we're in 7th grade and none of us are men. I'm like, no, you're not a man.
Wow. You're pretty brutal.
I am.
Well, MMA is going for Reactor Starport, and so we are going to see Vikings. Looks like he is going to go for the Viking Blue Flame Hellion build. Meantime, Nada is making a single Viking and going Reactor Blue Flame Hellions. So both players just going to make a ton of Blue Flame Hellions, and one of the players going to make a lot of Vikings, while the other player, Nada, actually is going for a tech lab on his starport. So it looks like
this might actually counter.
It looks
Nada.
like, yeah, Nada looks like he's going to be hard countered here.
Yeah, he's actually going to be countered on the ground and in the air.
Yeah, and so for instance, a hard counter for people that don't understand versus a soft counter. A soft counter is like Immortals are pretty good against Marauders in the early game.
Yeah.
But you don't just win the game straight up from that. This is something, a hard counter, that, like, literally he'll just be able to win the game. They're going to have the same number of Blue Flame Hellions, and then one of them is going to have a few flying units, and the other one's going to have a ton of flying units. So unless something goes really weird here.
Basically, Nada's build would be something that would be great if MMA was doing a quick expansion build. They'd be like, okay, you got the...
yeah, it's actually, it's a very good build. It's just, it happens to be that one of them is choosing to, well, hold the phone, though. Nada with more Blue Flame Hellions, and that can make all the difference. Nada's going to have to be very careful with any of his flying units that are out. He has, this is really, really bad.
Raven going down.
So now he loses a Raven. The Viking does land before taking any hits. But that's a huge loss, losing that Raven right there. Took a lot of money for him to get. And now he's going to have Vikings popping out. And
oh, this is actually like one of those checkmate, at least for air control situations.
Yeah. Even though, this is a terrible spot, man.
Because anything that spawns out of there is going to get shot down.
Really smart move, though. Nada moving over to repair one.
Oh, Nada.
Wow.
You sexy man.
That was really well done by Nada. MMA bringing up another Viking.
This is actually so weird.
Yeah, it's a strange scenario. But he has one more Viking that's going to pop out. He didn't time them to pop out same time.
He needs to go up there and he should have killed that SCV while this is going on.
That's true. This is a really interesting game right here. Nada is being so intelligent. Oh! And does take out that one being repaired. Going to take out this other one now. But his Vikings have lost a lot of health.
Well, here's the thing, is if he gets the Hellions at the right angle, that ramp will act as a funnel that will allow all of Nada's Hellions, when they go down, to be burnt down.
Yeah. And he is making Marauders now as well. And, of course, a Marauder versus a Viking or a Hellion, actually, is hugely one-sided in the favor of a Marauder. Nada right now has a nice wall in going
MMA
on.
got supply blocked. Yeah, he's supply blocked right now.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's going to be a little bit of a hiccup in this game.
Yeah, in fact, that's going to let Nada, I believe, get ahead in... Nope, MMA is still ahead in Vikings. Never mind, he had a bunch in the middle I didn't see. But Nada just landing his. It's a smart move. And he's making a siege shank. That's exactly what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to ignore the air superiority of his opponent.
Uh-oh.
Look at this, MMA.
Oh, man, MMA is scary.
Yeah, these Marauders doing sick damage right now. Wow, this is so scary for Nada, man. It looks like he's just going to die.
You know, MMA, this really shows how strong his game understanding is.
Yeah, this is really
build order is just far superior.
The fact that he mixed in those Marauders made all the difference. The Siege Tank does pop out, but it is too little too late.
Like, how long it takes for Hellions to kill a Siege Tank, and this should be GG. Yeah. As MMA has played one of the most intelligent early game TDTs I've ever seen.
It was really well done.
It was just impeccable play. We know now who deserves to move on in Code S.
Nada will end up just in round of 32. He will be back for the next Code S, but unfortunately, despite some really amazing play.
Oh, happy birthday, Lee Chen.
Oh, wow. Little happy birthday
excellent.
shout out to Lee Chen and MLG.
Lee Chen just knocked over the birthday cake. He got so excited.
Yeah. That is, wow.
Lee Chen is at home. He's got his birthday party hat on. He's like, yes!
Of course, man. MMA, giving him a shout out. Happy birthday, Lee Chen. You are awesome. One of the reasons why MLG is such a great tournament.
Yeah, he's such a nice, smart guy.
Now go eat your birthday cake. I'm sure Ben is going to pop out of it. Nothing but tight underwear.
That is sexy.
That is so sexy. Such a hairy guy who's going to be frosting all stuck in. He's going to be so attractive.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so funny. So we're done with our first half of today's games. I think I bungled one of our outros and said this is going to be our last game for today. I actually meant the last game for the first group. We have a lot more games.
The day is just beginning because Huck is here.
That was just the appetizer. Now we're going to go to the main course as we're going to have one of our foreign players, one of our non-Terran players trying to get farther and farther in Code S.
Huck against Virus. I gave him the vaccine. He should be fine. He's like, why did you just put a needle in my neck? I'm like, it's Virus. I'm giving you the vaccine. He's like, you're fucking crazy. I was like, no. He's like, I have to go get ready. And he ran in the other room. Yeah.
I am really excited to see this match. I think it's going to be really good. So Huck goes first, right? It's Huck against Virus first, right? We didn't get our sheets today.
And then
ASD
the order against Xenia.
And that's going to be great, too. Xenio, also not a Terran.
You know what might be awesome is if one of the Protosses are, if Huck wins and Xenio loses, we won't have to see a TVT, perhaps. Wouldn't that be something else?
I believe in miracles.
Well, here is what happened in this group. 2-0 for Nesty, 2-1 for MMA. Keen falls to up and down. Will he be back into Code S? My guess is no, but we will see.
You know
Nada
what?
with 2-1 just stays in Code S.
If I could just say something, I have to say the results compared to the games, I'm really happy with them. It was compared to skill and execution and strategy. This is exactly how this should look like. An ST should have the 2-0. MMA should have the 2-1. Nada, he's great, but clearly he was not as good as MMA or Nesty. And Keen, he's a great player as well, but did not belong in Code S anymore.
There you go.
We're going to have a 5-minute break. Don't go too far away. We're going to be back with some more badass games here in the GSL Code S.